failed to make this because someone distracted me with a fucking noise, so let's go again. UK's in some hot shit right now. Other than the terrible shit happening around the world, there's also still protests, there's still complete NPC people, like it's just so fucking dystopian. And this has been more of an influence from TikTok as well, of all things, short form media. People seem to be taking everyone's word for it, like, oh, immigrant's bad, and they're not questioning it. There's no critical thinking, there's no evidence, there's nothing. It's just gone so out of control. And then we've had this recent news with Keir Starmer basically saying, that caring about the genocide in Gaza is essentially student politics. It's just, what the hell is this place going to? I think it's going into war at this point. It's not out of the question. It's become extremely concerning, and with everything going on around the world, it just makes me feel even more unsafe. At the root of everything, once again, it's just people supporting billionaires. And I don't know why we're still supporting them, because they're obviously the problem here. They're the ones doing the things that people are accused of now. So it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why people aren't protesting that instead of this trivial issue of like 4 or 5 people who happen to be immigrants committing a crime. But that somehow wasn't even the worst of it, because this all started because of a new problem. We already had troubles with the Online Safety Act at the moment, and apparently there's some other news I actually need to get myself updated on. But it's gotten far worse in the sense that the entire media narrative is being controlled by people who pay more to control it. Which is not good, because that means they're not doing their job properly. They're not doing essentially news reporting properly, and it's just showing extremely stupid people that that's what's going on. That is not the case. It's just objectively not true. So you never get any media covering, like, for example, like the flotilla and going towards Gaza. They didn't even report on the drone attacks. So that shows you where their priorities are. Yeah, innocent people. I think one was British on that boat. There's probably on more, but like, there was an actor on there, King Davos from Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was pretty good, but he's on there. Sure, he's from the UK. But it's just concerning that they didn't report on this here in the UK. Like, one of our fucking biggest stars, essentially, is being attacked. Just let that sink in for a moment. So, the world was coming to shit, sort of as expected, but wasn't in the way that I expected. Yeah, it's crazy as if there is a World War III, it's going to be between people as well. It's not just countries, it's literally people, civilians. Because that's where it's going to at the moment. Then we've got this issue in the UK, the new one that I'm talking about. Essentially what's happening is social media and other various sources are being taken over by bots and AI. And just NPCs in general, because let's be honest, anyone saying voter reform or just arguing against something is just an NPC. And that's pretty much possibly true, because they don't have reason, and they don't respond to comments. They don't respond to anything. So, yeah, that's something that's been happening. And I can't believe it's happening, because, again, what the fuck is this world coming to? But the proof I've seen of this, and I'm wondering, Again, other than NPCs not replying, because they are literally NPCs at this point. Just stop treating them like people, because we don't even know, especially on the internet. Yeah, like NPCs, and we've got the airport from. Where's this fucking fly coming from? It's where this house is cursed or something. So there's AI bots essentially spamming the same shit over and over again. It's like they find these posts that are about something, like, for example, debunking immigration garbage, and they seem to post on their vote reform. They seem to post on their also anti-immigrant crap. Like, I see on like Muslim videos, for example, there's people quoting. It's also sort of like the dead internet theory, I guess. Literally feels like that. There's people saying like religion or peace. Like, it's so dystopian and so I don't know what to call it. Like exclusionary, I guess. Like people are not willing to hear out reason, and that's what's led me to think that these are actually AI. They're not real people. Yeah, it definitely makes me question existence in that case, because how do we know that people are AI? So mindfuck. That's one of the issues. But as I said, like, media's been bought off by various, I don't know, conglomerates at the time, or just billionaires and government, so that they're essentially told not to report on certain topics. Again, as I said, the Gaza flotilla thing was attacked by two separate drone attacks, and that's not reported on, as I said. So that shows you one of the massive issues in the country and just online. So it seems whoever controls the narrative is like the person with the most money, which is just so corrupt and, again, dystopian. Like, it's literally a definition of a dystopia. And those with the money essentially control the narrative. It means it could be whatever they want. They could literally tell you never to report on like cases of, I don't know, like paedophilia or even ableism. Like, there's literally so many things that they'd exclude you from talking about just because they can get away with it. It's so they can get away with it. That's what the Online Safety Act is doing. It's not protecting anyone, it's actually harming people by giving them nowhere to talk to people and interact with the outside world eventually. It's going to destroy the internet as well, because you lose a big portion of it. You know, all these things based in the UK will no longer be available outside the UK. And think about like shows like Taskmaster, and even I was trying to think of one, Watch the Oscars or what. And suddenly they'll disappear because, again, these laws, this absolute bullshit, and whoever controls the narrative will remove them from it. And also because, like in the case of like the Oscars and Taskmaster, they have great diversity. They'll be removed for that alone. Not for the fact that they're essentially showing stuff to outside the UK, it's because they're diverse. And that will be dismantled. Again, because of greed. Because of corruption. And this is what I see when people say they vote reform. I just see corruption at the core. That's all these people, all these bots actually just say to me. And meanwhile, you never get media sort of reporting on opponents. Like, again, that's more proof. So, again, the AI problem as well sort of adds to this, because they never talk about anyone else. They never paint them differently. There's never like, oh, this is an MP that I follow now, who has actually convinced me that he's going to do a good job of leading the UK if he gets voted in. Zach Polinsky. He's done an amazing job of addressing various issues. How much of the media are covering him? Not much. So, that's the problem, but you never see bots talking about him, you never see anyone talking about him. Which can only mean one thing. The bots are trying to manipulate the algorithm into obviously getting more clicks and views for said people. Like for Raj, there's probably bots saying that. There's probably there's definitely bots saying vote reform, but there's probably some saying other things as well, which essentially are character attacks but not directed. So yeah, it's very much obvious that that's happening, which is scary again because it's like a dystopia and it's going to become a dictatorship eventually if this continues, and people are sucking up to it. This is the thing, and this is like the most embarrassing thing since Trump and Putin. Like the most embarrassing thing for humanity. How the fuck is this even happening? It literally shouldn't be happening. And it doesn't stop there, because I think this is happening in other places as well. Because it's not just TikTok, it's not just YouTube and stuff. It's also social media itself, such as X and Facebook as well. These two seem to be contributing shit that is disrupting kind of the entire internet and just flow of how the internet's supposed to work. Again, promoting the algorithm, saying random shit that literally only bots say and NPCs. And it's promoting that. Again, they could be bought off as well. Money speaks. That's literally the term. And that's one of our biggest dangers. The biggest dangers here in the UK and just in general. Is that will eventually kill you. Yeah, this isn't some sort of like, oh, they're just going to put gunfire out there. No, it's a deadly gas. And just because it hasn't reached you, that doesn't mean it won't. Literally can. So, the other places where this is happening is fucking flying here, go away. What else is happening? It's also affecting like Facebook and X, and I've actually looked on there for the first time in ages, at least Facebook anyway, because I used to have an account. And it's fucking dystopian as hell. But it's just unbelievable. I looked at the pages that I otherwise follow while on there, and the comments are just littered with fucking absolute NPC and bot garbage. Like, there's already been that thing about Facebook using AI to essentially make comments and act as though they're actually people. But they're not actually people, obviously. They're fucking bots. So, it's concerning. And they're also reflecting the shit that far right people would say otherwise. I could actually do an example now, like, still logged in, I think. It's not loading. Okay, there we go. Let's do plant-based news. So I've followed since becoming vegan. Let's see, vegan ultra runner Damon Hall in the 2025 Late Land 100 race. Okay, let's see. Getting my vegan popcorn ready. Go for the chest anti-vegan trolls. Yep, that's a legit comment. I'm an actual person. How do we know he's vegan? No, he made sure we knew. Pretty sure that's a vegan comment. But he won't live to be an old man. Okay, that's a troll. People who are on a vegan lifestyle are not unhealthy. It's been proven in studies, it's been proven in anecdotes, so this just doesn't make sense. No big deal, just because he's vegan, probably taking so many supplements he rattles. Another troll, and this is probably AI this time. It's always about something about nutrients with people who say this shit. There's never a new argument, and I say it's more likely that it's an NPC because it is more sort of unique, I guess, in structure. Yeah, like vegans have to take supplements. It's no big deal. Like, it literally does nothing. Like, it improves your health. That's what supplements do. That's what nutrients are for. But these comments just do nothing to add to the conversation. And it's always just the same shit over and over again. Humans' amazing ability to endurance run improves. Species' primary food source has been for 3 billion years. The ability is for persistence hunting for legged animals. Not true, by the way. Runners such as him have resilient human bodies, unlike his survival on lesser famine foods. Before it succeeds in the hunt to get proper nutrition. It's probably an AI, to be honest. I look at the profile picture and the name, Demetrius, someone, Emin early. It appeals to nature fallacy, and that's so obvious as well. Humans didn't survive on hunting alone, which is one of the things that people commonly get misconceptions about. They survived on foraging, and it also includes sometimes there are dead animals. Like, you have to get what you can to survive, and this is just based on my knowledge of it. So it makes no sense. And why is he calling plant foods famine foods? But they're literally fucking foods that fill you up in nature, like berries and beans. That they grow places that you don't even really think they can grow. Like mushrooms as well, no doubt. We used to eat that as well. Another comment, when you bring up how amazing it is, vegan Tile was able to accomplish something that many of his peers are able to do in greater quantity. It really does not sell lifestyle to outsiders if that is your intention. Probably an NPC comment. Yeah, it's just, that's dumb. Apparently the guys in America. That explains enough anyway. So NPC, yeah. To address the comment though, the reason why people focus on the vegan diet and lifestyle is because it literally empowers people. There is actually a benefit to it. And again, it's proven in studies. It doesn't take long to see. Like, look at Like Vegan, look at plant-based news even, for when they've got doctors on talking about this, and they show you reliable studies on the very topic of endurance. So this doesn't make any sense. I don't know why you pull this out of your arse. It's not like there are similarities. Every endurance runner has to obviously build themselves up and train, but there are factors that can limit you, and being vegan doesn't actually limit you. So yeah, that's just another one because it's just about the run. It's not my forte. Is there any of what is it? I don't know, there's one with a big ratio. We are not carnivores. God, I'm dreading this already. What does it say? We're not obligate carnivores, but omnivores are an absolute push. We don't actually need meat. Yeah. Yeah, but lions do it after. That's completely agreeable. Yeah, so let's look at these absolutely NPC comments that are no doubt going to be there. So before the invention of vegetables and edible fruits, what did you use? Invention? Like selective, not breeding, but like, I don't know what the actual term is for plants. It's like selective thing. Basically select the various fruits and vegetables you grow based on what they yield. Like, if you grow an abnormally large tomato, you can literally grow more of them with the seeds from that tomato and then keep it going. That's how we've done it for years. Like, that isn't an invention, that's an evolution. So I don't know if it's making that claim, but I guess not, because it's quite dumb. But nobody invented fruits or vegetables. No, absolutely nobody. It's just evolved over the years. And the rest of the comment says, I'll give you a little clue, it is on cave paintings around the world. Like, what do you mean? What did people eat before fruits and vegetables? Like, fruits and vegetables, you fucking idiot. That's what existed. That's what we had to eat, because we couldn't hunt fucking animals. It's just so dumb. Next comment. Okay, then explain our dental structure. Okay, that's probably a bot. You need canine teeth for lettuce. What? Like, people don't have canine teeth. They're called canines because they're at the front. They just like checking my teeth. It's like a third tooth on each side, and they're not canines. Like, by a carnivore definition, they're essentially a hook, but they're not canines like actual omnivore and carnivores have. Which I think further proves that we have more of a bias towards herbivorous foods, because we're not designed to essentially chop into really hard flesh or bone. So we can get soft flesh, but that's it. So yeah, we don't have canine teeth, essentially. Any dentist, another one was probably a bot. I read it's the same thing. Someone's saying there's a lot of rolled up meat eaters. There's one saying actually we do as meat is good. A lot of things, including the brain, that explains everything. What? The fucking. Probably an NPC, because there's a spelling error. It just makes no sense though. What's it trying to say? Actually, we do as meat. What do you mean as meat? Do you mean eat meat? Actually, we do eat meat. Is good for the brain. If you mean it's. A lot of things, including the brain. It's good for a lot of things, including the brain. No. Actually, meat's more of a detriment now because of how industrialised it was. Back then, if you ate excess amounts of it, like in nature, before we even had civilizations, you'd suffer with the same issues we do today. We'd struggle with heart problems and obesity, only because we eat in excess. But we literally couldn't, by the way, because we didn't have that available to us. It was only through hunting that we could, and we weren't hunting every fucking day, that's for sure. Oftentimes we just forage for things, we just forage for plants. And yeah, it's just kind of saying the same thing, it's just bots, again. What about some organisation like Animal Rising? See, I've seen Greenpeace ones in a similar sense. I've seen people saying not to protest in Gaza because it's nothing to do with the environment. Fucking joke. Like, of course it is. You're transporting bombs and stuff, transporting weapons, and then causing destruction, which releases shit into the atmosphere. And no doubt heat as well. It's just so bad. God, there's a bunch of NPC comments on this about the Palestinian action. Stay with animal rights, please. What? Oh, this person's real. Like, humans are animals. That's the thing. That's why we're trying to save Gaza and stop the fucking attacks from Israel. So, Jesus. Focus on animals, that's what I cause, otherwise go for starving. Saving animals, subjects, it's fine. Fucking get silent. What the fuck? What other causes would we get sucked into fracking asylum seekers? So, for sure it's a dismissive comment. Focus on corners and NPC. Do you know about that? Yeah, like just a bunch more NPC comments. People complaining that it's not about animal rights now. Like, you've got to be kidding me. It's just so dumb. Yeah, there seems to be better ratio than par-based news for some reason. I think people are actually afraid to interact with these people because they know they've got evidence of these terrible things, and that's why there are less of them there. Jesus Christ, it's everywhere, and I've even seen it on like the homepage when that's appeared. Because you get recommended random pages now for some reason, which has confused a lot of the older generation. It's like they go into the comments of these pages and say, fuck off, I don't want to see this. Again, that's capitalism, and that's what you vote for. You know, that's what the far right does. They focus on that shit, as opposed to actually serving people. So it gives you an idea of where the priorities are and what you vote for, and you got what you deserved. And I'm not complaining myself because I don't use this platform. You brought it on yourself, that's your problem to deal with now. And that's why you shouldn't vote far right bigots. Trying to figure out how you get the thing. I can't find how it recommends random things. I don't know why it happens. And of course I've got AI and stuff, yeah. So if it wasn't obvious enough for chats and stuff and messages. I'm pretty sure I've said my point here. There's an absurd amount of bigotry and NPCs and bots now invading the internet. It's getting dangerously so, in my honest opinion, because this can literally ruin the planet. And I was not sure about saying this myself because it's no doubt will be controversial. I don't mean to throw shade at also Ukraine in this case, but the internet might become the Chernobyl of the internet, and nowhere is safe. But it's literally a disaster waiting to happen with all these AI, all this forced AI for that matter, and the NPCs and dead internet. It's just heading towards disaster and just asking for it. You know, the fire's there, and so we can somehow reliably put it out. There's no way to actually defend ourselves from it, and this is why I began encouraging a few months ago about getting into conserving even the old time pastime stuff like board games, getting a hobby that requires like physical action, like even working out while doing exercise, because there's not many places you can trust anymore, and that's been made plainly obvious with this shit. And it's just becoming a case where things aren't becoming safe anymore. And you know, on TikTok of all things, there's this fucking crazy thing. I'm not sure how true it is exactly, because I don't want to get in trouble myself. But there seems to be an influx of people essentially doxing and then going to workplaces of these people who unfortunately are bigots and harassing the workplaces to get them basically fired. Yeah, that says a lot. It says a lot about how the world has become, what it's become. And this is just on the internet alone, like, we've got bigger issues in real life. So, I don't know what else to say here. Guess thanks for listening. Like, that's all I've got to say. See you on another time.